Hello, this is Dr. Mears. Today I'm going to be showing you how to solve a system of linear equations by graphing. So you should have this. I do want this to go in your ISN, and you're actually going to fold it up. So when you put it in your ISN, you can just unfold it and it'll fit. So I put a little page 65, so this does go on that next page. The last video you should have watched was the definition of a system of linear equations, and so the next one should be how we solve by graphing, which is the first way to solve. So it says solve each system by graphing. So what we're doing here is we're actually graphing two lines. You, in the last chapter, actually not last chapter, but the one before, you were graphing one line. So we have to remember how to graph equations. So let's take this step by step. I'm going to write down this first equation, y equals x minus 4. And I'm going to have to find two things, remember, m and b. Remember, b tells us where to start on the y-intercept, m tells us where to go. So this x really has a 1 because that 1 holds that place. If there's no number in front of the x, it is a 1. So this is 1x minus 4. Remember, the m is located next to x, linked by multiplication, so this is 1. This has to be a fraction. So in order to turn any number into a fraction, we put a 1 underneath of the fraction bar. So our slope here is 1 over 1. The m is positive on top, which means we go up, positive on the bottom, which means we go right. I'm going to pause there for 1 second, and I'm going to have you write something on the top of your paper. M equals, if the number in the numerator is positive, we go up, or if the number in the numerator is negative, we go down. Then, after we do that first, then we can go right if the number in the denominator is positive, or left if the denominator is negative. So those are our directions, and I would like to see you write that. Okay, back to our example, 1x minus 4, the m was 1, so the b is negative 4, and that's our starting point. So on the y-axis, we're going to go down to negative 4, and then we're going to do what our slope tells us to do. Up 1, right 1, up 1, right 1, up 1, right 1, up 1, right 1. I can also go down 1, left 1, which is just the opposite direction, and I'm going to draw my line in. Make my line big and put arrows on it. So notice, I graphed one at a time. I checked it off. Now I'm going to graph the second one. So I'm going to write down y equals negative 4x plus 1, m equals, b equals. M is next to the x, so negative 4. Do not forget that negative. In order to turn it into a fraction, because it's not, we put it over 1. Our b is positive 1. So this tells us where to start. So we're going to start on 1 here. Now my directions, I forgot to write them down, so let's do it. This number in the numerator is negative, so that means we go down. So I'm going to write down here. And then the denominator is positive, so we go right. So from my start point, which was at 1, we're going to go down 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and right 1. Down 1, 2, I don't have any more room. That's okay. I can still go back to my start point and do the opposite. Go up 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, but this time to the left. And so I have a nice line. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Made a nice line here. Whoops, not too nice. Trying to make it so that you could see it. Okay. And so notice, here's where they cross. And that's what we're looking for. We're looking to see where they cross, where they meet, where they intersect. It's all the same word. And so we have to write down the ordered pair. And the ordered pair is, remember, x comma y. So the x value where they meet is at 1. And the y value where they meet is at negative 3. So they meet at 1, negative 3, and if I go to that point, I see that's where they intersect. Now, I would originally have you check this, but I want you to first be able to graph it and get that ordered pair. Then, on another one, I might have you check the solution to make sure it works. So let's go on to the second one. The second one is y equals negative 3 over 2x plus 1. So we're going to graph that one first. So this one I graphed. negative 3 over 2x. Please notice how I put the negative in the numerator. I always do that. If there's 1, I throw it in the numerator. Plus 1. Our m is negative 3 over 2, so this is going down and right. And our start point is going to be positive 1. So let's graph that. I'm going to go to positive 1. Then I'm going to do what my directions say. Down 3, 1, 2, 3, right 2, 1, 2. Down 3, 1, 2, 3, right 2, 1, 2. And I'm going to go the other way too. Up 1, 2, 3, left 1, 2. So this makes a nice line that goes all the way through. And I have that one done. Let's do this one now. I'm going to write down y equals 1/2 x minus 3. Then I'm going to write down my slope, which is 1/2. This is saying up, there's no negative. This is saying right, there's no negative. My b, which is my start point, is minus 3, so I'm going to now take that as a negative 3. So that's where I'm going to go first. I'm going to go to negative 3. I'm going to go up 1, right 1, 2. Up 1, right 1, 2. So I'm going to use this point here. So that is the intersection because I do hit it. Down 1, right, left 1, 2. So I just wanted to do the other side, which is the opposite. So if we look, this is where they intersect. So I have to write down my ordered pair. Remember, it goes x, y. So let's go over to x. X is 2. And then y, we go down to negative 2. So that's how you graph those two equations. I would like you to actually, for these two, pause the video and try number 3 yourself and number 4 yourself, and then come back to get the answers. I will explain fully how to do them, but I would like you to try them on your own. They're very similar to the ones that we've done before. Okay, hopefully you're back. Let's do numbers 3 and 4 together. For number 3, I'm going to write it up here. Y equals 3/2 x minus 4. This was this first one. So our slope is 3 over 2. So we're going to go up and right because they're both positive. And our start point is negative 4 because it was minus there. So we're going to go to negative 4 and we're going to go up 3 and right 2, up 3, right 2. I'm not going to do the other side because I can't go down 3. There's no more room. You could possibly add on numbers if you want, but if you don't, that's fine. So we did that one. Let's do this one now. Y equals 3/2 x plus 2. Our slope is 3/2. This is looking very familiar. Remember what I noticed about the same slopes. B is positive 2. So let's go to positive 2 on the y because that's our start point. And we're going to go up 3, 1, 2, 3, and right 2, 1, 2. I'm not going to do any more, but I am going to go back to my home base and do the opposite. Down 1, 2, 3, and left 1, 2, 2, 3, 1, 2. And if you notice, these slopes, 3 over 2, 3 over 2 are the same. And when we have same slope, that means that we're going to have parallel lines. When we have parallel lines, that means we have the same slope, which means they're never going to cross, so there are no ordered pairs where they meet, so we have no solution. Let's move on to the next one. Y equals negative 1/4 x plus 2. My slope is negative 1 over 4. Remember, I put that negative in the numerator all the time. So this is telling me to go down and right. I'm going to start at positive 2. So I go to positive 2, I go down 1 and right 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't do it anymore, so I'm going to go back. I'm going to go up 1 and left 4. And then I'm going to connect as best as possible without a ruler. Did that first one. Let's go on to the second one. Y equals negative 1/4 x plus 2. M equals negative 1, putting the negative in the numerator. This again is looking very familiar. So we're going to go down and right. I'm seeing same slopes. Let's see what happens. B again is positive 2. Ooh, B again is positive 2. Let's graph it. We go to positive 2. We go down 1 and right. Can't go anymore. So we go up 1 and right 4. And what do you notice? I notice that they are the same exact line. I'm just going to make it a little bit thicker. Which means they share all those points. They have all those points in common. So we had the same slope, negative 1/4, negative 1/4, the same y-intercept, 2 and 2. So same line, so we have infinite solutions. All points located on these lines will work. All points on the lines will work. And again, I would like you to check these solutions, or this had infinite many. The other solutions were 2, -2 for this and 1, -3. But I want you to be able to graph them first, and then we will go on to checking them, and that will be a different video for you. So I hope this helped. This has been the video solving by graph.